of Rhode Island is getting. Let's never forget. You know how they say never forget? Never forget that Andy at the last BravoCon was asked by someone standing there with a mic in their hand. Are we ever going to see Girls Trip? Because we hear that, like, Carolyn Manzo is suing. Are we ever going to see that on our screen? And Andy said, like, yeah, of course. Yeah, I mean, we filmed it, right? And the person said, I have a follow-up question. When are we going to see it? We're never going to see it. I love when people say, Andy says, Andy says. It don't matter what Andy says. Andy says as a producer what he has to for himself. So this answer is basically saying Dolores will not be there, but let's not really confirm that as the executive producer because I really kind of like the attention that this is getting. What better press for Real Housewives of Rhode Island than Dolores is going? He said, I think that's a little overstated. It's really about who's in Rhode Island. She's not going, okay? So stop the insanity. I stop believing all this bullshit. And if you believe it, well, that's on you, okay? There you go. You want me to give you, was this happening or not? Because there's 8,000 DMs here. It's not happening. Okay. Now, where did all this come from? Where did all this come from? Well, I'll be honest with you. I think it's come from Teresa, believe it or not. Now, part of me is like, Teresa's probably like jealous. Like, wasn't she always the star of the show? And all of a sudden, all we're doing is talking. No one's talking about Teresa going to Rhode Island. We're just talking about Dolores going to Rhode Island. So I'm like, at first, I think, like, God, like, Teresa must be pissed. She must be mad that somehow it's become all about Dolores. I mean, Andy has basically essentially said, Rhode Island's going to replace New Jersey. And all we're talking about is Dolores, Dolores, Dolores. I'm like, Teresa must be mad. She must be mad at Dolores that it's all about Dolores. And I thought that for a day and 2 days and 3 days. And then I actually, because here we are, you guys, you sent me all the DMs. I decided to go down the rabbit hole and then I read the articles. This is from OK Magazine. I read the articles and I'm like, oh my God, I have a totally different thought on this now. I'm thinking, I mean, let's not forget, we just had someone in Teresa's camp. We all know who that was. Uh, Leak that stupid story that contracts are out. Fucking woman looked like a fool for leaking that. The contracts were out and we have a hold on Melissa and I was, and what did I say then? I said, this desperate, thirsty person who leaks this fake story. But it was someone in Teresa's camp. We all know who it was. Well, here we are again. And I think Teresa's the one leaking this because here's what this article is saying. And now all the articles are starting to say this that they're all starting to say, here it is. Here we go. Bingo, the lights went on. Sources. Once again, we have sources. Now we know the source is not Carrie Ann, her assistant, and we know it's not that scumbag lawyer, the buffoon, Jim Leonard. Don't get him confused with the other buffoon. You know, the other buffoon. We all know who that is, Jennifer Aiden. That she actually is kind of quiet these days. Some of you call her a slob kebab. That's not nice. She's a buffoon, but there's also the scumbag lawyer. So we know that Carrie Ann and the lawyer are not leaking this stuff because, as we reported last week, they're not there anymore. Did they get fired because Teresa doesn't have enough money to pay them anymore? Maybe. Did they quit because they were rendering services and not getting paid because she's out of money? Maybe. Probably. Maybe. Or did they just get sick of working with, some of you guys call him Loony Louie? Probably. Maybe a witch's brew concoction of all three. But they're not there anymore. So they're not the ones leaking this. But here's what the article says. Sources speaking to OK Magazine addressed the issue and addressed the report about Dolores. Dolores is going to be coming to the new show, Real Housewives of Rhode Island. She's going to rent a summer house there and be a friend of the housewives, the insiders say. As one explained, Dolores has a real friendship with one of the castmates. With who? Jealous of what? With who does she know in Rhode Island? Dolores didn't leave New Jersey for nothing. She crosses the river to scratch over here in New York, and then she goes right back home. All of a sudden, she's a multinational woman with friends in Rhode Island. Dolores gets around? Really? Okay. I got a bridge over there. You want me to sell it to you? So anyway, the source continues. No one knows what the future holds in terms of her being there in Rhode Island, Dolores, that is. She could inevitably become a full-time cast member and move to Rhode Island if the show takes off. Give me a fucking break. According to the insider, another indicator is, what's going to happen with Real Housewives of New Jersey? And here my light bulb goes off. Well, Melissa Gorga is going on wife swap, and now Dolores is making the move to RHORI. So Melissa's on wife swap, which, I mean, this argument doesn't even make sense. Melissa's on wife swap, and Dolores is on RHORI. Oh, how convenient. The only one really left that fans would follow on RHONJ would be Teresa. How convenient. Are you leaking stories? Did Lisa Vanderpump teach you how to do that, Teresa? Tisk, tisk, tisk. My sources from inside your camp say you leaked this, Teresa. Leaking a fake story, allegedly. Wink, wink, girlfriend. Oh, it goes on, guys. We're not done. The only one left to lead New Jersey would be Teresa. Now, some of you in the back row are saying, well, what about the powerhouse and pigtails, Margaret? Well, the article addresses that Margaret Joseph still wants to return, but Teresa's not friendly with Margaret, so the pairing of those two would never ever happen. Margaret won't be back. Now, she won't be back. We all know this, but how convenient that the source knows this. Hi, Teresa, you leaking stories, girlfriend. Tisk, tisk, tisk. Vanderpump knows better. You gotta learn, Teresa. And the article goes on, and Margaret leading RHONJ, it wouldn't make sense in the eyes of production. Oh, do tell, insider. The insider says, I mean, Teresa and Melissa are considered the two stars. Everyone else picks sides. It's all about Teresa and Melissa. So, I mean, Dolores stays neutral, but it's all about Teresa and Melissa. So, Margaret leading RHONJ wouldn't make sense, and she won't be back because she doesn't get along. So, we have Dolores now conveniently out of the picture, Godfather style. Exile her to Rhode Island. Sounds like something good. Teresa don't care that she's up there on Rhode Island. Let go Dolores go be on RHORI. Melissa we got on wife swap. How convenient, the source says. Well, I'm saying convenient. The source says the only person left to lead RHONJ is Teresa. The whole thing is figured out. Wow, the source is really smart, right? Almost as smart as Teresa. And then that's it. They say that, it's brilliant, and Dolores comes with a built-in fan base, and Melissa will be busy on what. If Melissa could be on wife swap every day from now until the cows came home, it's filming like today, tomorrow, June 4th. She could still be on New Jersey. One thing has nothing to do with the other. So could Dolores. We're not filming New Jersey now. She'd go up to RHORI, film the shit, and be home. She's not going to RHORI. Melissa is going to wife swap. And Teresa ain't coming back to lead Real Housewives of New Jersey. But the article says with Dolores out of the way and Melissa out of the way, it's clear what's going to happen with RHONJ. So I call bullshit on that too, Teresa. You are the one, Miss Giudice, who is leaking these fake stories about Dolores.